into a very special college football show. We have some bowl picks this week, some transfer portal news, and you can't tell me you know what's happening because none of us do. I have some friends here today. My one friend who I just can't get rid of, Mr. James Lillquist.
I'm like a bad rash. I'm just going to keep popping up.
Hold on. I know. No matter how many times you tell me to use that ointment, it just doesn't go away.
It never does. I'm going to carry me around like luggage.
James, how are we doing tonight?
We are doing fantastic. I mean, I think I just saw you like 24 hours ago, it seems like.
A little less than that. Actually, I think we might have hit 24 hours right on the nose. Too bad we don't sit and just talk college football all day. But
we really don't.
But, James, we are doing something a little different tonight. So I brought some friends.
More friends?
We have the reigning, defending, undisputed Pac-12 champions.
Back to back.
The longest reigning champions of the Pac-12, Mr. Alex Romero. Alex, how we doing this week?
Good, man. Good. If I was telling you I didn't go through a range of emotions through that Pac-12 championship, I'd be lying to you, man. What a game.
We text back and forth, so I know what you were feeling.
Oh, yeah.
I'm used to these being a Tennessee fan. I'm used to seeing this go down. So, I'm used to these range of emotions, these wild swings. Right. So,
Yep.
James is used to living on bad decisions and bad coaching hires, okay?
Dude, I feel like I don't know how to live if I don't have those going on in my life.
Speaking of bad decisions, can we talk about Hendon Hooker being left off the Heisman ballot?
It's a travesty.
We're going to get the bowl picks in about 30 minutes. But I just want to talk about how Hendon Hooker managed to get – he missed 4.5 quarters, not even the full fourth quarter where he tore his ACL, and somehow still – got left off the ballot.
I mean, okay, so how many quarters did Caleb Williams miss?
I don't know if he missed any, did he?
I don't think he didn't miss any. He played the whole Pac-12 championship game.
Oh, he did. I thought he was out.
He ended up I believe pulling himself with in the final drive.
Reports,
but that was it.
Apparently Lincoln Riley wanted to pull him, and he wouldn't allow him to pull him. Which, if I'm the head coach and I'm trying to save you from yourself, you're going to sit your ass right on that bench.
100%.
Okay, so in through this also, I mean, are we gonna? I understand that C.J. Stroud might not have missed a few quarters, but it sure shows. It looked like he
sure didn't play those quarters.
He did not play those quarters. I mean, if you watch that Northwestern game, I think he was pretty much invisible. I think you could milk carton him during that game.
I would give it the elements, but 77 yards.
Now, what about the Michigan game? We're going to blame the elements on that one?
He had an okay game. I'm going to leave it at that. He didn't have Hendon Hooker's numbers, though.
The second half, too. I mean, the second half, the Ohio State offense was just non-existent in itself. Yeah. Like, Michigan just took it to them, and as much as I hate to say it, because I root against Jim Harbaugh as much as possible, but, I mean –
Jeez, I'm hearing
this
saltiness.
So, Caleb, surprise, this goes back to Utah, but James hasn't heard this story yet. So, Alex Smith.
Can I leave the room then?
Wait. Alex, I'm going to have to reference this for you. I am a 49ers fan.
Yes.
No, this has nothing to do with
So, you're familiar then with what happened with Alex Smith and Colin Kaepernick?
Yes, and he absolutely deserved it.
Really?
Oh, 100%.
You think he deserved it?
Yes.
Wow.
Alex, that's not the story I thought you were going to go with.
Oh, no, as soon as I heard him talking about it with Harbaugh, I knew exactly where he was going.
With Kaepernick getting the starting job and taking the 49ers to the Super Bowl, I mean, I get it. You have to ride the hot hand. It's just, I'm just still salty that it had to happen because Alex Smith was putting up the same exact numbers, if not better numbers, and then he got a concussion when it was out for, 3-4 weeks?
He was out for 4 weeks.
Yeah, so either way you went, I mean, you're in the same boat, I think, but it just sucks that he lost his starting job in San Francisco due to injury. Like that's the thing.
Here's my only caveat to that. I watched him lose his job to JT Sullivan. I watched him lose his job to the other vehicle named Carr. I watched him lose that job so many times that I did not. I mean, I understand it sucked and everything, but I was not going to. He had no one to blame but himself in that situation.
True though, because I understand he had his issues in the past, but he got hurt.
I understand that, but he was a known commodity, and you have to ride the hot hand. And that hot hand got you to
that's what I said too. And I'm like, you know what? Like, you have to ride the hot hand. He's not. You don't know how he's going to bounce back after that. So I can completely agree with you on that.
And it wasn't like
just sucked. It wasn't like happened the way that it did. So I mean, I'm personally, I'm just not a big like Jim Harbaugh fan in general. But after that happened, I kind of got salty. So
they didn't just jettison him; they sent him to the freaking Chiefs, where he went to the freaking division. I mean, he won the freaking divion. So I mean,
I know. I'm not I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying like. That's my vendetta against Harbaugh. So wherever he ends up, I end up rooting against him. So,
guys, we are 8 carry the 1, 20 hours into the transfer portal opening. What are your thoughts of these first 20 hours of the transfer portal being open, Alex? Even though you just went on your long tangent, I'm still gonna let you go again.
Man, no, it's all good, buddy. Honestly, there's been a couple surprises to me personally. I think DJ Uyunglele was a kind of a surprise, only because he hadn't the only thing that kind of made it not surprising is that he kind of played himself out of the starting job.
But hasn't he done that all year?
Couple weeks.
He has done that all year.
And so exactly. So it now makes sense kind of looking at the last couple weeks saying, okay, they finally benched him.
But
does Dabo Sweeney have any more confidence in him? It's been more apparent the last few weeks, I should say. The Notre Dame game is very apparent. Let's see, who did they play last week? South Carolina.
Yes.
South Carolina was the apparent.
Alex, we're not referring to South Carolina. They are now known as the Undertaker.
Yeah. We'll get into that in a minute. Once we get into the bowl games, you'll understand.
Cue the bells.
Yes.
So I saw that in the group chat too. I about sent a GIF of the Undertaker doing the eye roll. So
yeah, absolutely. As soon as I saw it, I was like, "Oh, this is beautiful." So,
sorry, just to finish up my point here, James, I apologize, but the other thing that kind of got me a little bit was the transferring of Spencer Sanders from Oklahoma State. That one was a big surprise to me too.
I'd heard rumblings about that, but I also agree because I don't know that he overwhelmed anybody at Oklahoma State.
Mm-hmm.
James?
Oh no! A quarterback that knows how to throw the football accurately. I'm not going to be happy at all if he doesn't to my team ever.
That's what I was saying. Oh, Alex, let me tell you, I came up with a wish list for what I want Georgia to get, and I want you to have all the pity in the world for me. Okay?
Oh Lord.
I want Devin Leary.
Of course he does.
Of course you do.
I want a solid RB1 that can run up the middle.
Of course he does.
Okay.
I want 2 wide receivers and more experience on defense.
Okay. Let me counter here then.
By the way, we just won the national championship. Please feel bad for me.
And you're the number one seed this year.
Let me just do this though. Let me just say this.
Go ahead.
Who doesn't want any of those things, Caleb?
Apparently teams are trying to win.
Exactly.
I'm going to go back to your DJ take, and I've got his stats pulled up here. Without looking, how many times did DJ throw for over 300 yards this year?
I'd say once, if
James?
not twice.
I'm going to say once because I think it was North Carolina game.
It is one. Can you pick the opponent?
North Carolina State.
I'm going to go to the other side of the state. I'm going to go North Carolina.
Well, you mean the team that he threw for 10 yards against? Remember way back in week 5 when Clemson played double overtime against
Wake Forest.
Oh, wow.
371 yards. If you take that out, the next highest yard game is 233 yards.
And was that the North Carolina State game?
That was the Miami game.
Oh, it was the Miami game. Okay.
North Carolina State, he threw for 209.
Yeah.
Do y'all remember early in the season how bad I was dogging Anthony Richardson because he'd have games like this, but he's a little more athletic than DJ is?
Absolutely.
So why are we giving this guy any credit who has shown that he can't throw the ball?
He had two great freshman games, like their other
Notre Dame game
quarterback
on the road when Trevor Lawrence couldn't play, and I can't remember what the other one was. But now he did. What do you have? 10 and 11 last year. He's 22-7. So his touchdown to INT ratio changed a little bit. I'm glad to see that. James, you and I talked about it last night. Alex, do you feel like Dabo's loyalty to his players is what cost Clemson a chance at the playoffs?
I think we referred to it as blind faith, but yes.
Anyways, his loyalty to his players, to a fault, is the reason Clemson into the playoffs.
I can completely agree with that because, I mean, you think about it this way. We're going over the DJ Uyunglele situation, and now that he's deciding to transfer because of his play, obviously, but with Dabo's faith in him and blind faith in him, as James called it as well, is the reason why 100% they didn't make the playoffs. Obviously, he did not play well enough to win certain games that were crucial games in their season. Like, they should have beaten Notre Dame. They should have beaten South Carolina. Like,
I don't know. I don't know if they should have beaten South Carolina, Notre Dame, because I always thought Clemson was overrated, and I beat that table, and then they lost to Notre Dame.
See, and that's where I was too. Like, after last season, I'm like, hey, are we seeing the downslide of Clemson right now? But at the same time, like, they have playmakers like Will Shipley. That dude is an absolute dog.
And if you look, what did we look at last night, James? Shipley had what? Less than 50 yards last night?
He had an awful game.
But if you look,
they also could not run the ball last night either.
61st in passing yards, tied for 31st in passing touchdowns, 56 with 7 INTs, a QBR of 54th ranking QBR, and his completion percentage was 62%. So I'm not sure that I don't know. I don't know if you can convince me anywhere on a Power 5 level where I think he goes and makes that team better.
To be honest with you, I don't either. I think it's it was his job to lose, obviously, throughout the entire season. But I think at this point, I mean, his time in Clemson is done, obviously. Where do you think he ends up?
I think he has to go to a G5 level.
I think he has to go to the Mountain West Conference.
I know James brought that up yesterday, and I do see him, because he's from California. Mm-hmm. So I could see him going to a lower tier, like a G5 school, and doing something there.
So then, being from California,
Fresno State.
That's what I was gonna say. Was Fresno State?
I think Jake Hager is leaving. I can't think what his name is.
Jake Hager. You mean the guy in wrestling? Yes.
Yeah. That guy. I think he's playing quarterback at Fresno State, or even San Jose State if Brent Brennan is still there next year.
So, do you think in that case, then again, being from California, if he does go the Power 5 level, do you think he ends up? There's a chance
Cal or Stanford, depending on his attitude.
That's what I was going to say was Stanford.
Ew.
But I still don't feel like you can win a game with him as your quarterback, and I have proof.
Oh, I have proof you can. Ian's in the comments now saying aloha.
Hello, sir.
What's going on, Ian?
We're so glad that you're not playing injured.
And I'm going to try to bring this back into the transfer portal here. I actually love this. I love this only because this is kind of giving us a pre-national signing day type vibe where it's not even that we're going to get this because we got 45 days and oh, by the way, when does that national signing day happen? In 2 weeks.
Yeah, I was going to say the signing day is in 2 weeks.
Signing days in 2 weeks. The end of the portal closes, I think, in right after the January 1st games.
Ian, I don't know if you could have said it any better.
Yeah, 100%.
If we're moving on, I will go back to quarterbacks, but I'd like to talk about Austin Stogner. Only because I laugh at where he's crystal balled to go back to Oklahoma.
So this is
absolutely hilarious.
This is what I like about this, and this is what I like to call the dipping toes in transfer portals and the jumping into the transfer portal.
And that
Austin's trying to get more money. He's definitely doing it.
Right. We have been explained that some players will put their numbers, their names in just to see what else they can get.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's all that I thought this was hilarious that they had him crystal ball to go back to Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's just like what little Dicky says, just trying to get that money.
And actually, speaking of Oklahoma right now, like what do you think of their program? I mean, they've had 2 QBs that have entered the transfer portal the last little bit.
Gabriel's a senior.
Gabriel leaves as a senior. They've had 2 underclassmen QBs enter the portal. Like, what's going on over there?
We were just talking about him. Nick, what was his last name? Evers. Who was the number 8 QB last class. We looked, he enrolled at Oklahoma on December 13th last year. So he hasn't even been on campus a full calendar year.
He already trying to get out.
He is already leaving.
So here's my problem. I feel like Oklahoma is in a tight spot here because they went to the wrong coaching tree. And they went and got themselves a Dabo Swinney coach.
We had a whole episode on the poor tree that is Dabo Swinney.
That tree that is dead, sickly, and producing bad fruit. The Dabo Swinney coaching tree.
I probably still have those notes somewhere.
You do have them there, and I did read them very well. But honestly, I think right now Oklahoma might be in free fall, not only because you're going to be losing guys like Eric Gray and those guys to the NFL draft, you're also losing your lower level guys going to look at that. Probably that one.
Oh, let me turn off my screen sharing. So
you might want to do that. Just open up all of our business there. But you're showing that I think Brent Venables, although I think is a great defensive coordinator, he might not be head coaching material there.
And we talked about it.
Because this year was bad, like really
especially
bad.
in Norman, especially for their standards at Oklahoma. Like this is a 6-6 year is just not acceptable.
By the way,
congratulations, you're about to go to the SEC in a couple of years.
This is the first time that Oklahoma had lost 3 in a row since Bob Stoops' first year in Norman.
And what quarterback did he go get in the that transfer
guy?
That Josh Heupel guy.
Actually, I am not giving him credit for that. Do you know who actually went and got that quarterback? Our favorite SEC coach, Mike Leach.
Yes.
Anyway, so we talked about Dabo's coaching tree. This was on our show on the 12th. USF had just fired Jeff Scott. Chad Morris was also on that staff at USF, which just is hilarious. Chad Morris had a 14-22 record at SMU, and 2 years at Arkansas, he was 4-18, and he didn't win a game. He was 0-14 in conference play. His record sits at 18-40, 8-30 in conference play. Then you have Brett Venables, who was sitting at 5-4 at the time. They finished 6-6. Tony Elliott was sitting at 3-6 at Virginia. Like, it's just like nobody that he had seemed to produce as a next head coach had seemed to work. So I'll let you marinate on that and come up with a rebuttal. I just don't know, like, nobody that he's put. This is now 4. He's got 4 head coaches out there right now under his tree that have just not done very well. So
yeah, I mean, he could be like trying to get them experience in other places, I guess. Just as coordinators,
I think the
try and build
biggest
their systems, something like that. But I mean, I honestly, I don't know. I think Oklahoma right now is just a complete dumpster fire.
I don't understand where. Like, I think the biggest problem with Dabo is he didn't like when Brunival's and Elliott left this offseason, he didn't even look outside Clemson. He immediately felt like he had the guys inside the quarterback or inside the program, and obviously it didn't work.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about a couple of other transfer portal quarterbacks here as I bring my screen back because I'm not looking at emails. I talked about Devin Leary wanting him at Georgia. I've talked about Hudson Card.
He wants at Georgia.
Jeff Sims is another guy that I think
he doesn't want at Georgia.
Jeff Sims is another guy I think is interesting. He was a 4-star recruit coming out of high school. He committed to Jeff Collins, and I understand. He committed to Jeff Collins out of high school.
Yes, Caleb, your smoke alarms are going great.
Is that me?
I think it might be me, actually. Sorry about that.
I was like, man. So
yeah, it keeps chirping at me.
I don't feel like we saw the best of Jeff Sims.
He played at Georgia Tech.
I feel like if you get him in more of a traditional spread offense where you just open it wide, I feel like he could develop into something special.
He might be able to. However, you're going to have to break a lot of bad habits of having bad football there with him. Only because, I mean, not that I'm not a dog Georgia Tech, but here I'm going to go dog Georgia Tech because for the last, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years, they haven't developed a quarterback for anything. I mean, now granted they were they were a triple option for a while there, but you had all that going on, and then you brought in Jeff Collins, and that didn't work out. So, and then they just do a panic hire because they didn't want to pay Willie Fritz. What in the world, is he going to do for that? He's not wearing a Jake from State Farm name tag shirt, sir.
No, sir. No, sir. I'll bring it back into frame for you. So, Bradley and I'm pretty sure this was his jersey, defensive lineman for the Dallas Cowboys now. But this is I'll give you the side angle too. The University of Utah.
The interlocking.
Red throwbacks here.
The interlocking U.
The interlocking U's. The red throwback to the opposite of the white that they wore in the Rose Bowl last year and in Gainesville in Florida this year. This is the opposite of that. So this is the red version of that. But yeah, not a Jake from State Farm shirt. Sorry about that. Sorry to burst your bubble there, Ian.
But no, I mean, for me, the thing about the transfer portal is that there's been some successes, but I've never seen a quarterback go to a transfer portal and actually be what we would call successful.
Well, and that's where I'm going to actually correct you here a little bit, James, is because, believe it or not, Cam Rising from Utah was actually a transfer portal quarterback. And so Rising has now won 2 Pac-12 championships with the University of Utah. Second Rose Bowl berth here now. So, I mean, that's something where I'd feel like that's pretty successful. Even if you haven't made a playoff yet, that's pretty successful for being a transfer portal QB.
Yeah, and we didn't even know that Cam Rising was that good because Charlie Brewer started out as quarterback last year at Utah. And for those of us that watch the show know how much we love Baylor. and I had high expectations. And you and I went back and forth last year because I had high expectations for Charlie Brewer, and then he just kind of got off to a slow start, and just never seemed to recover.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it was about his adjustment to Utah. He looked great in practice, looked great in the spring game. And then as soon as regular season hit, obviously Utah had a cupcake in the first game of the season and then played, I believe, San Diego, or it was the BYU game after that, which
San Diego State.
Which that one was, I don't talk about that one. And San Diego State as well was the other one that actually Rising came into the game in the second half and damn near led a comeback to win the game in double or triple overtime. But ultimately that one fell short. And that was, I mean, Utah didn't look back after that.
I'm going to ask you two questions. One, do you feel like USC, do you feel like what Lincoln Riley did at USC in the transfer portal can be repeated or will be repeated to the same amount of success where you're borderline conference championship in the playoffs?
Absolutely. Absolutely, I do. This might come as a surprise to you. I also think it's going to be in the Pac-12 with Colorado and Deion Sanders being named head coach at Colorado.
Yeah, we talked about that a lot at Mausium last night. The other thing I'm going to ask you is I give you hypothetically, Cam Rising is gone, okay? Mm-hmm. If Devin Leary, DJ, Hudson Card, who is your quarterback?
Hudson Card, Devin Leary, and DJ?
Right, you can only go get one.
I'm steering clear of DJ 100%, honestly. So, honestly, I think my pick there is Hudson Card.
I don't know if I disagree with you.
Just the style of Utah's offense that they run, I think Hudson Card would just be a little bit better of a fit. But if you're going for more of like a mobile quarterback kind of offense as well, where you want to get him, involved in the run game, I think Devin Leary would be a good option for that too.
I feel like the only reason he's coming back is because he got hurt.
Are you talking about Rising?
No, I'm talking about Devin Leary.
Yes.
I feel like the only reason Devin Leary came back and is transferring is because of his injury. And I don't necessarily hate that that he is transferring.
Sure. And another big name to keep an eye on too here in the near future is going to be that Luke Altmaier from Ole Miss.
I like the way he looked in the Sugar Bowl last year. I will say that. I just have not seen enough of him.
I haven't either, but that could be an interesting name to keep an eye on too.
All right. I think I've held off to this long enough. We quite possibly have the most annoying person in our group chat.
Bring in the boy. He deserves his shine. We gave him credit last night.
Kept the craziest faith that Colorado was going to land Deion Sanders. And we probably butt heads more than most. The most annoying man on earth. Tip your cap, because I'm not allowed to have sweet tea anymore. Mr. Jody Moncrief. Jody, how you doing, man?
And he's not wearing a Colorado thing. What in the world?
But he is wearing the Notre Dame hat. Shocker, didn't see that coming.
Oh, I got something for you, playa, because your Notre Dame Irish are about to go one-on-one
with the Undertaker. Well, guys, we have hit the fun hour of 9 o'clock, so I would say madness, but I don't actually know what's about to happen.
It is time.
Jody, we're going to let you get your opening monologue in, and then we'll start.
We got to let you get your time in. You were the one who did it.
You go on about a 3-minute rant of whatever you would like to talk about related to college football that's not Nathaniel Hackett or Russell Wilson and why this is failing.
And no Brian Schottenheimer.
Right. We have standards here, okay?
All righty.
So, sir, the floor is yours. It's your show. We're just living in it.
How about Prime to Colorado, baby?
Right?
Okay, so honestly, now did you just was this blind faith? Were you just like on this and like
Yeah,
you
like
just knew
or
this
did
was
you,
going to
like,
happen,
have a hand in
or
this?
did you have inside knowledge here? Do you work for the
Because
University of
you
Colorado
have
Athletic
gotten-
Department?
You
How
have
did you know
private
this?
Colorado. You've got Joe Brady, 50,000 jobs.
Will Muschamp, 50,000
Will
jobs. You are
Muschamp,
Jimmy Sexton's best friend.
Ed O now. He also willed Ed O into existence at UNLV if that happens.
Oh, he gonna will that into existence too. How the? I mean, you're gonna try to get Will Muschamp another job too
If
as
you
well.
can do that, why are you wasting on coaches and not Notre Dame national championships? Okay, that's all I need.
And why are you wasting this on Denver Broncos, coaches? I mean, come on now. You got this power. You got the sway. You got the glow.
All right, sir, the floor is yours. Your college football debut.
So I called it for weeks. Prime to see you. No one had faith.
You know, a broken clock is right twice a day, okay? That's all I got to say is a broken clock is right twice a day.
I'd also like to say Notre Dame had some big wins this year, Clemson being one.
Sir, I have a comment, please.
Yes.
Hey, how'd that Stanford game go for you? I'm sorry, continue.
We don't talk about
get
that.
too high. We can't let you get too low. Okay?
Mountain home.
Hey, with me being the Pac-12 guy,
Take
if
me
you
home
lose to Stanford,
to
dude,
a place
I belong.
West
Virginia.
Mountain Mama.
On a serious note, though, are you surprised Drew Pine is transferring?
No,
I mean, especially after the way you talked about him this entire year.
I feel like
coming off of that game against USC, his best game of the season.
Oh, first of all, I want to know why you sold stock in him off the USC game and all
That's
the
like
games.
his best game of stat wise.
Second of all, I feel like if Tyler Buckner would have taken back over the starting job, then this decision would have came sooner. I feel like this all starts.
I can 100% agree with that. If Buckner would have taken that job back, then he would have entered his name in the portal with 2-3 weeks left in the season somewhere.
I just don't think that. I think this all goes back to him not being named the starter at the beginning of the season.
I just hope the answer next year is not Tyler Buckner.
Well, sir, you have Hank Bachmeier on your radar, and you better enjoy it. Okay.
I mean, did Drew Pine really miss his chance because Cade McNamara went to Iowa to be the prototypical Iowa quarterback?
I can agree with that.
I haven't found Drew Pine a spot yet. I'm going to be honest. I have found some other
Drew Pine probably ends up in the G5 as well, like we were kind of talking about earlier.
Could you see him at someplace like Cincinnati or anything like that? Sorry, Caleb had to go run and do something real fast. Because
all good. I can definitely see somewhere like that, or potentially like Liberty, like Liberty.
Do you think he could run that veer option that Jamie Chadwell runs? And which is my boy. So you're gonna have to come at me with some hard facts here.
No, I get it. No, I'm honestly, it's gonna be tough for him to adjust, but I think he can run it.
All right. I'm gonna take one question before we start our bowl picks. What are your thoughts on Matt Rule, Nebraska? James, I think you and I have gone over this.
We have talked about this, so we need to bring in our guest.
We're not going to, because we got long-winded on this, I think.
We did.
So, Alex, do you have any thoughts on Matt Rule to Nebraska?
I think in theory it makes sense. I don't think Matt Rule is going to be the answer at Nebraska.
Wow.
But I'll be honest with you, man. Just like, I understand that the pro game and the college game is completely different, but I mean, what he did in Carolina was just it wasn't good.
My argument to that, and I hate this comparison, Nick Saban had a losing record in the NFL.
He absolutely did.
Okay,
absolutely.
So don't sit here and tell me because they failed in the NFL they can't work in college.
I'm not saying he can't. Because Urban Meyer did as well. And Urban Meyer had
Kelly.
at least 3.
Chip Kelly did that.
Chip Kelly is exactly. It could go either way, but
We
it's going to take a lot of help from the transfer portal and commits
But
coming
he-
to Nebraska for him
we
to
have
develop
seen
them
what
into
he
the
does
pro
to
talent.
programs. He will tear them down here to build them back up here.
That's true.
Jody,
That's true.
what's your
I'll
thoughts
give you that one.
on Matt Rule to Nebraska?
He's built 2 programs.
I mean, is that an average hire compared to Dion? I mean, everybody's just an average hire to you now. Now that you're on top of the world.
No, because look what he did with Baylor. I mean,
I am more impressed
that
not what he did at Baylor, but what he did at Temple.
What he did at Temple was amazing.
Yeah.
After it cratered, after Al Golden, after it cratered, he was able to build it right back.
So,
when you're taking over for what Art Briles does?
Art Briles wasn't the head coach when he took it over.
It wasn't. No, that was a year afterwards.
Yeah,
and
but what?
Had a season.
Agreed, but
because everybody had left the program because of what they feared was going to happen to Baylor. Anyways,
that's true.
Y'all got me all worked up now. All right, let's start madness, whatever we're going to call this.
Let's bring on the bad decisions.
Actually, before this, I guess, Caleb, I will.
Alex,
one more thing here. Nebraska predictions for next season, record-wise.
I haven't looked at their schedule, so although I will make a prediction, I think game day is in Boulder for Nebraska, Colorado next year.
Oh, that game's fire.
I like that prediction.
I do think
that
prediction is going to be in Boulder for Nebraska, Colorado. Okay. I will play this for everybody to see. That is not what I wanted.
I've got it right here.
I also have it right here, sir.
Oh, okay.
So stay over there, okay?
I will. I'll stay over there.
Okay.
Oh, hey, it's from the same website.
It's almost like we do this regularly,
James. They're like an old married couple.
Okay. Minnesota in Minneapolis. Win or loss?
I think that's a loss.
I agree.
Yeah, the boat's going to be road.
James? Jody? Well, okay. 0-1. Colorado. I am to be determined because I think I'm going to lean Colorado.
It's going to depend on the portal for Colorado.
What kind of talent Prime is going to be able to pull in.
That's what I was going to say. If Prime pulls in the talent that we all thinks he will, then that's a dub for Colorado, and Nebraska is going to be 0-2.
So
but if he doesn't, for some reason, if he doesn't, and they keep the same talent that they have already, that's going to be a 50-50 game, and I think Colorado still comes out with the win on that one.
Right. Is Thompson back at QB for Nebraska?
So 0-2, huh?
Should be.
Yes,
should be absolutely.
He should be. I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him put himself in the portal, and I have not seen him declare.
Matt Rule apparently went out and personally asked him to be his quarterback. NIU, do we all think they can beat? We love Maction around here, but I still feel like Nebraska can beat NIU.
I feel like they can. I feel like they come out victorious in that one. They're 1-2 to start the year.
Louisiana Tech, I'm gonna give. Well, we did see them lose to Georgia Southern, but I'm gonna assume that they're gonna be 2-2 here.
2-2.
Yeah.
Yep.
2-2.
And then are we gonna go back-to-back L's with Michigan and Illinois?
I'm gonna actually split that because I don't know how Illinois is gonna fare after having their big year. So however, they are smoking that L pack against Michigan.
3-3 in your bye week.
I say they split those, so I think they lose to Michigan and they beat Illinois.
And we're gonna beat
Jim Harbaugh.
Are they going to beat Northwestern, which they didn't do this year?
It's not in Ireland, so they have a shot.
Okay, so we're now 4-3. First of all, my question is Jeff Brom still going to be at Purdue?
Good question. He might be. He might be at Louisville. He might go back home.
He played quarterback at Louisville. That's my name to watch for the Louisville opening. So what are we going to go against Purdue in Lincoln?
With Brom there,
Aiden O'Connell's not going to be the quarterback next year.
I still got Purdue in Lincoln.
Okay, so we're now what 5-3.
4, we're 4-5. Yeah, or 5-3. Yeah.
Okay. Michigan State in East Lansing. Jody, you don't get a vote because I know where you're going with this. The
real question is Mel Tucker
Cody
still
has
the
already
head coach
fired
by
Mel
then?
Tucker. Okay, that's why y'all know that.
He just wanted to grenade Mel Tucker, and he wants to fire him into the sun.
Exactly.
Michigan State.
3 of 4 losing seasons. Just remember that.
It's at Michigan State.
It's at East Lansing. I'm still that's
Win.
an L for them
Win.
for Nebraska.
So 5-4.
Yep.
Maryland, I think, doesn't Tagovailoa have one more year?
Yeah, he
I
does.
believe so.
However, I don't like Loxley as a coach, so I think they could win that game.
So 6-3, 6-4.
Yep.
I trust Luke Fickle, I think, and Camp Randall. So I'm going to go 6-5.
Okay.
And then
Didn't
Iowa.
someone said
And then I'm
Hudson
going to say
Cardinals
Iowa
leaning
plays
there.
offense and beats
Yes.
Nebraska.
Agreed. Especially with
Well-
McNamara coming over from the transfer
Well,
portal.
that's
I think
not
that
all.
gives him a little
That's
bit
not all.
stable.
If you believe what you see, you have him, you have Eric All, the tight end, and who is the Alabama receiver I told you was crystal ball there?
Oh God.
Hudson something or another.
It's their
But anyway.
4-star. Yeah.
Yeah. So I do think that 5-7, 7-5 is probably the ballpark for Nebraska next year. But now to the stuff you really came here for. In our first bowl, it is the Bahamas Bowl, because what a terrible way to spend December in the Bahamas.
Yeah, that
Miami
sounds
of
awful.
Ohio plays UAB. Actually, has everybody made their picks yet? Because I'm making mine now.
I'm making mine on the fly.
I made mine already.
You're fired.
I made mine already.
You're also fired.
You guys are
All right.
terrible.
All
No
right, well,
fun.
since y'all made y'all's picks, and I can't convince y'all. Jody, who you got winning?
Sorry, who did you say again?
It's Miami of Ohio and UAB and the Bahamas Bowl.
Well, I think I picked UAB. Is Trent Dilfer, is he going to be coaching this game?
No.
He will not be coaching this game.
No.
But I think I did pick UAB.
Alex Romero.
Yes, sir. I picked UAB as well, my friend. UAB goes in there and gets the win.
James Lilliquist.
You never, ever count the Red Hawks down from the great Miami of Ohio, especially with UAB not having their coach there and having that new coach come in. I see them pulling off the upset in the Bahamas.
James, when you can successfully run the ball, what do you do to the game?
Shorten it.
I have some stats right here. Deuce McBride, 1,700 yards rushing this year. Give me the Blazers. Give me UAB. And probably James and I's favorite game of the year. In the Cure Bowl, you're going to have meet the UTSA Texas Roadrunners and the Troy Trojans. Alex Romero.
Sun Belt champion, Troy Trojans.
Alex Romero, give me a winner.
I'm going to take the underdog here, my friend. I'm going to go UTSA.
Okay, okay. Why is there not a line on this game? Interesting. I have lines for every game. Jody, who'd you get?
Troy, Sun Belt champs.
Okay. Mr. Lilliquist, are we going meet?
Nope, we're going Fun Belt.
Oh. First of all, I'm hurt right now. I just want you to know that, okay?
I
I
understand.
would like to start out with letting you know that I'm hurt. Give me meet. Give me the Roadrunners.
The biggest thing about this game is going to be the defense, because UTSA puts up 486 yards a game on offense, and Troy allows 325 yards of offense per game. So that's going to be a hell of a matchup to watch, as well as the defensive side of the ball for UTSA gives up about 404 yards a game. And here's the thing, though, is Troy puts up 375 yards of offense a game. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, you know, it's going to be tough for UTSA to stop Troy on defense, but ultimately I think they get one stop too many for Troy to win that game.
We like to call this the battle for Scott Satterfield Bowl.
I think Scott Satterfield on a pole match.
Yes, because Vince Russo put everything on a poll. in the Wasabi Fenway Bowl. By the way, this is the third year we're attempting to have the Fenway Bowl. The first 2 years they got canceled due to COVID. So hopefully we'll get the debut. Clap it up for the debut of the Fenway Bowl.
Here's also the most beautiful thing about it. Both teams will be on the same sideline.
Same sideline, yes.
I was gonna say I saw that earlier. That is crazy.
Cincinnati and Louisville, and neither team is going to have their head coach for next year on the sidelines.
Well, what's the reason for that?
Fickle's gone.
Scott Satterfield's not coaching in the bowl game.
No, not that.
Doesn't have a head coach right now.
No, I mean, why are they both on the same sidelines?
Because you're playing in a baseball field.
Because they're playing in a 120-year-old baseball field.
Oh,
Alex, who's winning this game?
I got Cincy.
Jody.
Cincy, I guess.
James Lilliquist.
Oh, Cincy.
Guys. Not so fast. Give me Louisville.
Oh, he went with
Wow.
the
Give me
Luke.
Louisville. Look, if this
Wow.
was the game day thing, I would be saving us. Because it would say Cincinnati, Louisville.
Hey, do you got a pencil in your hand right now?
He did.
He
got
did.
10.
Oh my God, he went full Corso on that one.
Well, I mean, minus the
Not
headgear.
so fast, my
I don't
friend.
have the headgear, and I haven't hit you with not so fast as loud.
You gotta hit us with the hand wave too, though. You gotta.
Hey, the national championship game is coming up. Okay, I just want you to know that.
Hey,
Oh, God.
Jody, I think you can confirm this because you're our Deion Sanders expert. Is he coaching for Jackson State in the Celebration Bowl?
He is.
Okay, so the Celebration Bowl is Jackson State and North Carolina Central. Jody, do you have your future coach winning this game?
I do.
Okay, I'm not surprised. Alex Rivera.
give me Jackson State by 1,000,000. Deion Sanders is going out undefeated.
James Lilliquist.
Hit his music.
Cue up the music.
I
Where's my theme music?
I am intrigued because you have I know Shador Sanders. Has he put his name in the transfer portal yet?
He was at the press conference.
I have questions, okay?
But if he puts it in now, he can't.
Name yet.
Thank you.
him
Jody
being there
said
is
it. That's exactly what I was
Jody's
waiting on. Jody, say that again.
But if he puts it now, he can't play in the bowl game, correct?
Thank you. That is what I was getting at. I don't think it's going to be Jackson State by 1,000,000 because I don't know what kind of Jackson State team you're going to get. But I do think Jackson State's going to win this.
Here's what's going to happen in that game. You know, you're gonna have the goodbyes and everything, and you're gonna hear Cam Newton's music hit right in the middle of it, and he's gonna come on out there in his Jackson State.
The ultimate
and
heel
here he
turn.
comes being like, you guys don't have a coach. I am now your coach.
Hey.
I am now your daddy.
Prime
Hey.
made a massive slip up when he said that, look, this is your starting quarterback next year.
I've told
He had to retract on that.
You have been so high on Sanders, you cannot down the name. James, I know for one thing. Who am I, the president of the fan club?
You're the president of the Oregon State head coach fan club.
Yes, I am the president of the Jonathan Smith fan club.
Yeah, I always forget his name because it's the most generic name
Sorry.
possible.
It's the whitest of white names.
Oh yeah,
Oregon State.
That name has an 800 credit score.
Plays Florida in the Vegas Bowl.
Also
Oregon
got his
State
Jesus
actually-
jammies on there, James.
Oh, he definitely has his jammies on. He's definitely knocking on doors, talking about a
Oregon
great book.
State's a 10-point favorite. If you thought I was going to Florida, you are out of your mind. Alex Romero, who is winning this game?
I'm going to go Corso here as well. Good pick, my friend. Oregon State's going to stop Anthony Richardson.
Except for he's
Oregon
not
State.
playing because he's already declared for the draft.
Except he's not
Oh,
playing.
that's true. That's true. I just saw that earlier. My apologies.
And,
But Oregon State's still
and it
winning.
won't be somebody help me with the name.
Kitna's
Yeah,
son.
that one. Yeah, and it won't be Kidney.
Yeah. He's playing on the freaking longest yard team
Thank
because
you.
he's.
I was going to
Jody,
say,
who's
Mean
winning this
Machine,
game?
man.
Jody, Florida, Oregon State.
I took Oregon State, but I don't know. Well, I don't know why, but
You did
they
it
literally-
right there, Jody. Jody, you're correct
Right.
because
The reason was
who's
wrong.
going to play quarterback for Florida? Who is going to play quarterback? They don't have a quarterback right now, pal.
What's ETN's brother's name? The one, the running back there. Can he play quarterback for him?
Yeah, he might have to.
They might run a lot of Wildcat. Okay. Who did?
Coming.
Let's throw a backup offensive tackle behind the center.
State's quarterback is no prize.
Who?
Oregon State's quarterback. I mean, what did he throw? Like 3 passes when they beat
11.
Oregon?
Okay, 11. And they still won the game.
They won. Hey, who won the game?
You play to win the game.
Rest in peace, Herm Edwards.
Everybody pick this game. Did I ask everybody? Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
We all went the other way because we don't know when trusts the Florida quarterback.
In the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl, we have Washington State and Fresno State. Jody, Mountain West, that's your territory. What you got over there, man?
Fresno.
Fresno's a 1.5 point favorite right now.
I mean, they really dominated Boise.
Alex Romero.
I got the Mountain West Conference champions, Fresno State Bulldogs.
James Lilliquist.
Give me the fighting Tedfords.
Give me Cam Ward. Not so fast, my friend. Give me Washington State.
Oh, such a.
All right, Jody.
That one can go either way, though, man. That's going to be a really good game.
What is the golden rule on this show?
Don't lose to food.
Thank you. In the Lending Tree Bowl, James, I told you we'd get him eventually.
We got him.
In the Lending Tree Bowl, you have the Rice Owls face the Southern Miss Golden Eagles, and I don't know what to do here. Alex Romero.
Southern Miss.
Jody.
Southern Miss.
James.
They have a golden opportunity to not lose the food here. Give me the Eagles.
Was that pun intended there, James? The golden
Very much so.
I figured.
Guys, I don't know what to do here.
Are you picking food?
You're
picking food.
Almost.
You've already had to give up your sweet tea, man. Come on.
You're right. Give me Southern Miss. I need to take 2 L's in one day. That team down south plays SMU in the New Mexico Bowl. Alex Romero, which team did you go with?
You already know who I go with. Give me SMU by 1,000,000.
Jody Moncrief.
SMU.
James.
You know what? I'm gonna go grab my super duper super Bible, I call it, with the Book of Mormon over there, and I'm gonna go with the BYU Cougars.
I am also gonna go with BYU because didn't Tanner Mordecai say he's transferring?
Yes, he did.
Okay, just curious. Give me
there's a couple other names that you're going to see here in the transfer portal as well. They have an All-American tackle or guard, I believe. Barrington, I believe is his name. He entered the transfer portal. They just lost their defensive coordinator, Tuiaki. He just stepped down as a
week ago, though, didn't they?
It was just last week or the week before. But then again, I mean, the defense is the biggest concern for me again. For the Cougars, I mean, that's going to be the biggest thing that they're going to have to clean up. Jaron Hall is a heck of a talent. I'll give him that at QB, but their defense is going to have to play lights out against SMU, I think.
Could we see a repeat of SMU and what was that? Houston, where it was like 73-65 or something?
Potentially.
Yeah. Defense was optional.
Right.
Yeah.
You would know, James. You would know.
I would know.
I'm going to make it to the conference championship and then fire my coach game. And the Frisco Bowl, North Texas, and the Boise State Broncos. Jody Moncrief, Mr. Mountain West. Who you got?
Boise State.
Romero.
Boise State, my friend. Boise State.
Lilliquist.
How much do you want to? So there's a reason why they fired the coach. I saw the stat.
He was 44.
You want to guess the coach's record in actual like games against top 25 and conference championship games?
0 at whatever the number of games they played are.
Absolutely. So yes, don't give me them losers. Do not give me North Texas State. Give me the Broncos.
I am also going to take the Broncos, formerly known as Hank Bachmeier's team. I will show you how to beat Marshall Bowl. In Myrtle Beach, UConn plays Marshall. Jody Moncrief. This is like picking between your favorite child. Who's winning this game?
I did not pick Marshall in this game.
Shocker! Didn't see that.
Whoa! Jim
Not
Moore
so
Jr.
fast, my friend. Marshall beat Notre Dame. Marshall will beat UConn. Give me Marshall.
James.
We are Marshall.
Well, Alex already stole my line, so give me UConn. Give me the Fighting Jim Morris. And the I will show you how to beat Marshall Bowl. All right.
Jody's got to take notes on that one.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
Wait. No, he does it because it's not going to be in Connecticut. It's on a neutral site. He has to learn how to beat Marshall on the road.
That is exactly why I do not want Tyler Buckner starting ever again.
Eastern Michigan and San Jose State in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. Mr. Mountain West, who you got?
Jody.
Oh, sorry.
That would be you, Jody.
Sorry, say that again. Sorry.
I'm Mr. Pac-12. You're Mr. Mountain West.
In the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, Eastern Michigan and San Jose State.
San Jose State.
Mr. Romero.
I got San Jose State as well.
James Lilliquist.
Well, a lot of people might not realize where I was born at.
Oh, I got it. Pick me.
Okay, all right, Caleb.
That would be from Puerto Rico. San Jose, California.
Yeah, that is definitely San Jose, California. So I'm going to go with the Spartans.
James, we have a rule here. We don't doubt Maction, even though I did it earlier.
Oh, you did it earlier, though.
Give me Eastern Michigan. I don't know why. All right. Mr. Pac-12 has left the building.
I am right here, my friend. Sorry about that. My laptop's dying. So
in the Boca Raton Bowl, we have Liberty and Toledo. James, your president of the fan club is now going to be the new coach here at Liberty.
Yes.
Who you got?
Is this even a question?
I think you're going to go Toledo, but we'll leave it alone.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we're going to go. No, we're going to go Liberty. We're going to go with the Flames, and we're going to go with the fighting Jamie Chadwells.
Mr. Mountain West. Who you got?
Liberty. Is Chadwell coaching in that game?
No new coaches.
No new coaches are coaching. Only Marcus Freeman did that.
Yeah, and then that's.
I've got Liberty. Okay. I've got Liberty as well.
James, do you remember who I picked in the MAC championship game?
You did.
I did. Okay.
You did pick the Rockets.
I did. Okay. All right. And both these teams are going from a far distance because Toledo's in Ohio and Liberty's in Virginia. And this game is played in Boca Raton, Florida.
It's an 8-hour drive from Lynchburg, Virginia.
Give me Toledo. I don't even know why. I have zero logic behind these picks right now. In the New Orleans Bowl, surprising South Alabama Jaguars and the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. Mr. Romero.
All right. Oh, my laptop decided to restart. I am sorry.
We'll come back to you, Jody.
Right. Come back to me in just a second.
Mr. Lilliquist.
I'm going to go with only because not only did they have a 10-2 record, but I just love their acronym being USA. Give me the Jaguars.
I am also going to take USA only because Austin Reed, who is the starting quarterback for Western Kentucky, is transferring.
Jody?
Mr. Mountain West.
Western Kentucky.
Mr. Romero.
All right, I'm back. Sorry.
Mr. Romero, in your Boca Raton Bowl. I'm sorry, not Boca Raton Bowl, and the New Orleans Bowl.
I've got the former Utah quarterback coached Southern Alabama Jaguars.
Let's go. All right,
Jake Bentley actually transferred from Utah to Southern Alabama.
You mean before
South Alabama?
After
Utah, before South Carolina.
Alabama. Yep. So South Carolina. Then he played for Utah for the COVID season, and then transferred from Utah to South Alabama.
Well traveled. We'll leave it at that.
Yes. And the funny thing is, he started as a high school senior at South Carolina.
James,
and won.
Where do we rank Baylor on our favorite teams?
We
Top
rank
5?
We rank the fighting Dave Arandas very high. Top 5.
The fighting Dave Arandas are playing in the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl in a game that's going to last an hour and a half against the Air Force Falcons. Mr. Lilliquist, tell me who you're picking and why it's not Air Force.
Unfortunately, it is Air Force because it is. They are my boss. They're going to be my future bosses.
That's a terrible reason. Terrible reason.
Look, I'm trying to retire. All right, I'm trying to make my money. All right,
Mr. Romero, who's winning this game?
I've got Baylor. I think Baylor's been hit and miss this year as far as offensively is concerned. Their defense has been pretty good for the most part. I think their defense shows up. I think their offense shows up. They go above 500 for the year. I got the Baylor Bears, unlike when they play Utah in Texas next season.
We'll see. Jody, who you got?
Air Force, and mainly because they can run the football.
So can Baylor. That's why this game's only going to last an hour and a half. Give me the Baylor Bears.
2-minute offense is just constant first down running plays.
That's all it's going to be.
In the Independence Bowl, we have Louisiana Raging Cajun and the Houston Cougars. I think I'm going to go with the Fighting Dana Holgersons. Give me Houston. Romero.
I got Houston again, my friend.
Lilliquist.
We're going to go with the future Big 12 Houston Cougars.
Mr. Mountain West.
Houston.
Beautiful. We are also going to take the over in this game.
Oh, God, yes.
In the Gasparilla Bowl, we have Wake Forest and Missouri. Is the scoreboard going to break is my real question.
Do the scoreboards have ones?
Right. That's really what I want to know.
Do they go up to triple digits?
Right. Mr. Moncrief, who is winning this game?
Wake.
Romero?
I agree with you, Jody. Good pick, man. Wake Forest.
Lilliquist.
This is going to be a basketball score, and I'm going to go with Wake Forest because defense will definitely be optional in this matchup.
I would actually like to talk about something really fast. Can we talk about the size of Missouri's things? Because the report is out there that they backed out.
I don't think that's appropriate for a podcast here, Caleb.
Sir, you haven't been on this show before then. Can we talk about how Missouri allegedly backed out of the Liberty Bowl because they would have had to play Kansas?
You know,
give me Wake Forest by 1 million, okay? And that's going to be a lot because Missouri's going to score 1 million. So that's going to be a lot.
Does their quarterback enter the portal?
Sam Hartman?
Bazelak? Or are you talking about Heartland?
Hartman.
Bazelak is now leaving Indiana.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot he went to there. Yeah.
Middle Tennessee and San Diego State. We'll go with Mr. Mountain West here. And why is he going to go 3 for 3 and pick Mountain West teams? Mr. Moncrief, who's winning this game?
No, I picked Middle Tennessee State.
Wow!
Whoa!
Wow. As unfortunate as this sounds, this was one of the only losses that Utah had last year. I'm going San Diego State.
James, are you picking with your heart or your head here?
Mr. Caleb, I do understand the environment, and I'd really like to be your coach. I'm going to go with San Diego State Aztecs.
But don't you know the area of Middle Tennessee too?
He does know the area of Middle Tennessee. He likes the terrible I-65 statue of the Raider himself.
Look, if James has faith in Brady Hoke, who am I? Give me San Diego State. Give me San Diego State.
Thank you for understanding. Okay, yeah, Alex and Jody, you might not understand this joke of me yelling that.
So do I.
Is that during the Greg Schiano coaching search, after that all went to heck, Brady Hoke was the interim head coach for Tennessee at the time. And he said in all caps text to the Jim Curry, the AD at the time, saying how much he knew the environment and would love to be the head coach of the University of Tennessee in all caps.
So if you ever see James talking in all caps, because he knows the area.
Exactly. And I will use that word. Yeah, I have to use that word. I know the area.
New Mexico State plays Bowling Green in the Quicken Lanes Bowl. Mr. Rivera.
Give me Bowling Green for this one.
Mr. Mountain West.
Bowling Green.
Mr. James Lilliquist.
Oh, who did Bowling Green play this first game of the year? This year?
Are you talking about that abysmal Tennessee game they attempted to play?
Yeah, they attempted to try to play that game. Give me the Falcon Maze.
All right. Well, I'm also going to take action. We needed a waiver and a 65-3 win against Valparaiso to get officially 6 wins. So give me the Fighting Falcons. Guys, there is some irony here in the Camila Bowl. Georgia Southern plays Buffalo. Who is Georgia Southern's quarterback?
I couldn't tell you.
Kyle Van Treese. Kyle Van Treese transferred to Georgia Southern. It's pretty easy here at this point, guys. Where did Kyle Van Treese play his college ball last year?
Buffalo.
Thank you.
I believe he played for the Fight Lance Leapolds, yes.
Yeah, no. They weren't the Lance Leapolds last year. That was 2 years ago. But he was still on that team.
He's still on that team, though.
Yeah, they were the Fighting Mo Lindquist last year and this year. Mr. Romero.
This one I think is going to be a toss-up. Buffalo had their QB transfer to the team that they're playing this week in this bowl game. Is it the Camellia Bowl?
It is the Camellia Bowl.
Okay. I didn't butcher the name. Hell yeah. All right. That being said, I think their defense tries to bring as much pressure as possible on Georgia Southern. Give me Buffalo Bulls.
Mr. Mountain West.
Buffalo.
Mr. Lilliquist.
You know, you're having to pick between your two favorite kids here because you got the Maction versus the Fun Belt.
Fun Belt, I know.
And give me the Fun Belt. Give me the Fighting Clay Heltons.
Well, first of all, the fact that you hired Clay Helton is terrible, but that's a different story.
Different story.
James, do you remember on Friday when I was Maction?
Yes.
That we clicked on it was Buffalo and Akron. And Buffalo went down 15-0, and they somehow find a way. Give me the Bulls, plus I have family up there, so, you know. And the First Responders Bowl, Memphis and Utah State. Mr. Romero, your neighbors.
Yes, sir. Utah State is about an hour and a half, if not an hour, give or take where you're coming from, honestly, from Salt Lake. So I've actually been to the campus of Utah State multiple times. My family's from Tremonton, which is a little small town up in Box Elder County near the Idaho border, up by Logan. My grandmother, my mom, all alumnus from Utah State. You'd think I'm going to pick Utah State here, but you're wrong. I'm actually going to go Michigan. Utah State's just been too
Michigan.
Memphis. Sorry. Oh my gosh.
Michigan's now playing in 2 bowls this year, in case you didn't know.
And if they were playing Utah State, they'd kick the crap out of them. Anyway, Memphis, Utah State's just been too
schedule this year.
Right. But Utah State's been too inconsistent on offense this year. They've showed up in certain games.
They should have lost UConn.
Yeah, they should have, absolutely. But like I said, man, they've just been too inconsistent. I don't think they show up in this bowl game for the First Responders Bowl, and I got Memphis winning that one.
Mr. Mountain West.
Memphis.
Mr. Lilliquist.
I think Utah State.
Do you know the area of Memphis as well?
No, God, no. I don't know that area at all. I try not to get shot. Okay, so Utah State has had a more up and down season than Cannibal at Lagoon. I'm still, and this hurts me to say this because I hate Tiger High just as much as anything else in this world. Still give me Tiger High.
I picked Memphis. I don't trust Utah State. I've watched them a few times this year. Give me Memphis. Plus, I don't know who has better uniforms than Memphis.
Memphis has some good looking unis.
I have way more better options there, but I'm gonna say that my hatred.
All right, James, you lose one, you gain another. Coastal Carolina and East Carolina in the Birmingham Bowl. James, are you still sticking with the fighting Jamie Chadwell led Chanticleers?
Absolutely not. You know how much I hate the state of South Carolina. The only good thing about the Chanticleers was Jamie Chadwell. Give me the Pirates.
Mr. Lilliquist, Mr. Moncrief.
Is
we don't know. I don't know.
Is Grayson playing?
He played in the Sun Belt Championship game. That doesn't mean he's not going to enter the portal between now and January, December, whatever day this game is on.
27.
27.
What year is he? What?
Red shirt junior? He has the extra
So
year.
he's got one
He
more
has
year.
the COVID year still.
He has the COVID year of eligibility.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense. If McCall plays, I'm taking Coastal.
Well, you can only pick one right now, and we don't know what's happening. So,
Well, regardless, I'm going to take Coastal.
And Jody?
The Pirates.
I also picked the Pirates. I like what Mike Houston has building there. Give me the Fighting Pirates. Also, they were the first ones to really do all black really well. So I also
really enjoyed Greenville, North Carolina, and I also like the Outer Banks and like that whole history of that area. So,
all right. In the Guaranteed Rate Bowl, we have the Graham Mertz-less Wisconsin Badgers facing the Oklahoma State-less Spencer Sanders. But Oklahoma State's had a missing person out for like 11 people on offense for like 6 weeks now. So this could be like 3-2. Mr. Romero, who are you picking in this god-awful matchup?
Honestly, with how bad they've been playing, they've got to snap out of it somehow. Give me Oklahoma State.
Mr. Mountain West.
Oklahoma State.
Mr. Lilliquist.
Give me the Cowboys, even though the quarterback will be doing this the entire time.
Give me the Fighting Mike Gundy's because literally his kid is playing quarterback.
He's a man. He's 40. He's got
right. Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
What keeps him at Oklahoma State?
It's his alma mater.
His alma mater.
It's his alma mater.
And also T. Boone Pickens money.
Guys, how would y'all feel if I told you at the beginning of the season that at the end of the season, Mike Elko at Duke would have more wins than A&M? Duke plays UCF in the Military Bowl. Mr. Pac-12, Alex Romero. Who do you have in this game?
UCF got absolutely bullied in their conference championship game.
By
Tulane. Their quarterback, I can't remember his name, little shifty little
Mackenzie Milton.
QB kid.
Yes. Milton. Sorry. John Rice Plumlee.
No.
Are you talking about
he got hurt?
Quarterback?
No,
Plumlee
got hurt in
that guy's transferring.
Game.
I can't think what his name is. That kid is transferring, but I can't think what his name is.
No, not the one that's transferring. The one that the third string that got in after Plumlee got hurt.
Mikey King.
Yes. No, that's the transfer.
Okay. Anyways,
you're making my choice a whole lot easier by doing this, sir.
Right. So, like,
let's just put it this way.
Plus, Ryan O'Keefe is transferring. Like,
if Plumlee can stay healthy, I've got UCF. But now that I've got UCF. If he could stay healthy, if he can't, they're going to be trying to avenge that conference championship loss. Give me the Knights.
Kind of like the Undertaker in the Buried Alive match. Back from the dead. Ian, welcome back.
He's alive.
You're not dead.
Yeah, I'm not dead. I'm not in the coffin. I sound halfway to hell, but hey, I'm here.
He feels much better.
Right. Mr. Moncrief, who you got, Duke or UCF?
Duke.
Mr. Lilliquist.
Well, after hearing the absolute
Spinal
Tap drummer level of quarterbacks there, give me the Fighting Mike Elkos.
Ian.
Give me UCF, only because they could have put Duke in the Duke's Mayo Bowl, and I'm petty about that.
I also agree.
It's understandable.
The amount of pettiness to not do that. The only thing more petty on that was Missouri, but not so fast.
Yeah.
Give me Duke.
Hey.
All right. James, I actually would like to pat you and I on the back. We got nothing right in our conference previews.
But one thing.
We nailed this one thing that I think counts more than anything else that we predicted. James and I had the audacity to say Kansas was going to go bowling this year.
We had the intentional fortitude. We had the what we call in basketball the onions.
Yes, he has the onions, and that is also welcome on the show, Mr. Rivera. Kansas is playing Arkansas. I didn't say they were going to win a bowl game. I said they'd make a bowl game. Ian, who you got?
Well, I had Kansas for the longest time, and then they fell off the face of the earth. I honestly feel like this should be a basketball game over a football game. Give me Arkansas.
Mr. Moncrief.
Arkansas. Kansas is out there. Quarterback.
Romero.
Oh, Kansas looked good, but like Ian said, man, they've fallen off. They've been nowhere to be found, and I don't think that shows up in the Liberty Bowl. Give me Arkansas.
Mr. Lilquist.
You know, as our resident SEC homers, we are.
Right.
Who did Arkansas lose to 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago?
LSU.
Liberty. I was talking
Oh,
about
Liberty.
game.
Yeah, you're right. That happened too.
Yeah.
That happened.
Arkansas has. If you were to say Kansas fell off the face of the earth, Arkansas really fell off the face of the earth.
Their fall from grace started before Kansas.
It really did. They also had like the worst schedule humanly possible. So
when you look, how are you going to knock a team who plays in the SEC West at that point, and you had Cincinnati and Liberty on your schedule?
So give me the Fighting Lance Leopold.
Give me, as I said, I didn't say they'd win the bowl game. I said they'd make it. I think you're going to get too much of KJ Jefferson.
You're going to get a lot of it.
Give me Arkansas.
Guys, I got a question. What kind of record does Kansas have if Daniel stays healthy all year?
8 wins.
Yeah,
I'd say 8-4, maybe 9-3.
Some of those wins, some of those losses with Jason Bean weren't blowouts. Let's see.
That's a hell of a question, though, because that is.
But you know what? Clap it up for Jody for coming with a good point every once in a while, okay?
that's one of the good hypotheticals you dropped.
Man, and you some shitty ones that you played with, too. Okay, so they had a 7-point loss to TCU, but Daniels was healthy in that game. 10-point loss to Oklahoma, a 13-point loss to Baylor, which probably the game was worse than the score. Texas Tech and Texas were blowouts, and Kansas State was playing for their Big 12 championship. So maybe 8-4 if he stays healthy.
Or maybe 7-5 with all the Oklahoma win.
Yeah. So yeah, probably another win or two, but I wouldn't go much farther past 8 wins.
The fact that they got to a bowl game with Kansas, not only do they get the Barry Horowitz special, but I mean that is such. I mean they hadn't won. Was it 2 years they went without winning a game?
Yes.
Yeah.
So from that to a bowl,
Colorado, and we know how bad Colorado is right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Guys, I will give you one piece of advice in the Holiday Bowl. Take the over. You got North Carolina and Oregon. Take the over. Take the over. Take the over. Mr. Ian, who you got?
Quack. Give me the quack attack, and it's not even going to be close.
Mr. Moncrief.
Oregon. I don't know what happened in North Carolina. Their offense can't score. Now.
They're shit. Never mind. I already went on this rant enough this year. Mr. Romero, who you got?
I'm sticking with the Pac-12. Oregon's going to be pissed about missing the Pac-12 championship. Again, thanks Oregon State, but I got the Ducks in this one.
Mr. Lilliquist.
I got the only reason why the reason why I'm going with the Ducks is not only are they mad about losing the 3-legged sack race, the Pac-12 championship game, but also they got Bo Picks coming back, so they'll give me the Ducks.
I will tell you what happened in North Carolina. Last year in the offseason, they hired a guy named Gene Chizik as defensive coordinator for the second time because it went so well the first time. Give me the Fighting Dan Lannings. This is probably going to be an underrated game in the Texas Bowl. You got Texas Tech and Ole Miss. Mr. Romero.
Give me the Rebels.
Mr. Moncrief.
The Rebels with Lane Kiffin.
Mr. SEC Homer number 2.
You know how much I have a love for that Joey Freshwater guy and the alleged co-ed wrecking on Middlebrook Pike of a Lexus, allegedly. that I did not see with my own 2 eyes.
Absolutely,
allegedly. Never happened.
Allegedly, of course.
But that man can coach some offensive football.
We can either confirm nor deny the story.
Absolutely cannot know that Mike Tomlin was also in that car. But anyway, we're gonna go with the Rebels.
Mr. Ian.
Wreckham Tech.
Ooh,
Wow.
Joey Maguire.
Although I will give them credit, you know what, that fan dropping the horns down right in front of the mascot when they beat Texas is all-time highlight this year.
So here's the thing, y'all don't know this. Texas Tech is my number 2 team, so y'all tripping if you think I'm picking against them.
Well, we have now noted that you are a supporter of Texas Tech. I am unfortunately going to take the Rebels. I feel like
Ian, how much do you love that little short bell that makes it look like they're doing an inappropriate act when they're ringing that thing?
We don't talk about that.
We do not confirm nor deny that story either. James.
Will not confirm, will not deny.
James, where is our man crush for PJ Fleck at? When we rank man crushes on college football coaches, where does PJ Fleck lie?
He's a solid top 10. However, it's getting cold like the Minnesota Winners.
Syracuse in the Pinstripe Bowl in Yankee Stadium is going to play Minnesota.
Yep.
West.
Oh, who's that?
Mr. Mountain West.
Minnesota. I mean, after Notre Dame destroyed Syracuse, they just fell apart.
That's also true. Syracuse is like a missing persons report out too. Alex Romero.
I'm gonna say not so fast, my friend. I think this is where Syracuse bounces back.
I think we're gonna keep that panel.
A Minnesota key part of their defense just entered the transfer portal. Their safety. Oh gosh, what was his name? I just sent it in the group like yesterday or so. But key part of their defense just entered the transfer portal. He's gonna be a tough spot to fill. So I'm gonna go Syracuse.
Ian, what were you saying about this game?
I was just going to say that Syracuse, you may as well chalk this up as another home game for them with it just being down in the city compared to being upstate in Syracuse. But, yeah, no, give me the orange.
Mr. SEC number 2.
I'm sorry, sir, but people in New York will be very offended by you by calling Canada part of New York itself.
Oh, it's Canada now. Okay.
You've never spent any time with any New Yorkers from New York. They think Syracuse is pretty much Canada. They call it Canada.
Yeah, I know. They don't acknowledge anything upstate, but Buffalo.
Yonkers, yeah.
But they'll claim Buffalo because they're doing great. So.
Yes. Yeah,
figure that one out.
Different thing. I know they got conflicts. Anyway, even though with all that, I did not trust Syracuse's quarterback when he played well. So give me the Gophers. Give me that boat. I want to row it.
I don't know if there's many scenarios you can talk me out of picking PJ Fleck. They also run the ball really effectively, and that's going to shorten the game. And we know how fast and quick Syracuse can attack on offense. But when you get 4 possessions, you have to score touchdowns.
100%.
So give me Minnesota and cold. Syracuse is used to playing in a dome. Minnesota's played outside. Give me the fighting PJ Flecks. And the Cheez-It Bowl, you have the Oklahoma Sooners and the suddenly remembered how to play football Florida State Seminoles. Mr. SEC number 2.
So here's my only question is, have we figured out which players have to sleep in those gaudy, god-awful eyesore rooms?
Thankfully not yet, and I'm glad it's not me.
All right. I'm glad it's not me. However, even with that being said, Brett Venables has had one of the worst years I've ever seen a head coach of a Power 5 big day blue blood school ever have. So give me the Florida State.
It's that Dabo coaching tree we've talked about.
Yeah, it's that wonderful.
Mr. Mountain West.
Florida State. I mean, they're playing really good right now.
Mr. Romero.
I got the Seminoles as well.
Mr. Ian.
Yeah, Florida State. And that hurts to say, but Florida State.
I just want to talk about the passion and the enthusiasm behind that pick. I also have
there is no passion.
I also have Florida State winning this game. I don't know what Oklahoma does on defense. When you figure it out, please let me know.
Do you think their head coach is keeping the seat warm for Prime, or he's a
No.
long-term guy?
No. Mike Norvell completely just made that his job.
Yeah. That is his job until A, he leaves, or B, he forgets what he's doing.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was for the longest time. In the beginning of the year, that was my hot take. But you know what? He was able to solidify that hot seat. I don't know how.
In the Alamo Bowl, we have Texas versus Washington. I'm going to ask you to pick your winner and tell me which team has the better quarterback. Mr. Romero, who's winning and what team has the better quarterback?
God, that's tough because you got to look at Penix.
And he's coming back next year.
He wants to build something at Washington, but you also have to look at Quinn Ewers as well. Went from Columbus down to Austin. You know, Penix went from Indiana down to Washington as well, or up to Washington, I should say. But give me the Huskies, and I think Penix throws for 300 yards.
Mr. Moncrief, who's winning? Who has the better quarterback?
Texas and Texas.
Ian, who's winning? Who has the better quarterback? Somebody was blocked.
Washington to both.
James.
So the reason why I'm not looking at this because I think Sark is one of the most overrated coaches in history. Also, number 2, I love this bowl because I've actually been to this bowl before in San Antonio. It was absolutely a blast being in basic training and going to that. And 2, I think Michael Penix is actually developing into a better quarterback than he was at Indiana. So give me the Huskies because they're the only other place that you can tailgate by boat.
I think I'm surprised how many people thought Michael Penix was a better quarterback. I feel like everyone's going to go Quinn Ewers. I also have Washington winning this game. The one thing you watch Quinn Ewers, I don't like his body language when they start to get behind. He just looks very defeated. So I'm not a fan of that.
Talking Texas, are you excited for Arch next year?
To be determined.
I'm gonna be real honest here.
I think he's massively overrated.
So does James.
If his last name was not Manning, that kid is a 4-star at best.
That if his last name wasn't Manning, he'd have 3 stars.
Yes.
We have Maryland and North Carolina State in the Dukes Mayo Bowl.
Oh.
Mr. Ian, which coach is going to be taking the Mayo bath?
Let's see, Leary declared for the portal, right?
Yes, which he was hurt anyway, so he wasn't going to play.
He was going to play regardless.
Yeah. But, you know what? Make Maryland take the bath. Make them take it.
Make him actually take the bath, eh?
Mr. Mountain West.
Maryland and Tua.
Mr. Tua's not at.
Talia.
What'd you say?
You called Talia Tua.
Talia. Sorry.
Wow, so Tua's got extra years now, and he gets paid for it.
Yes.
Mr. Romero.
I got NC State. Give me the Wolfpack.
Mr. Lilliquist.
Well, not only because I do not like Maryland as a football team very much. You can't turn your back on the Wolfpack, and I believe that Dave Doran's going to be taking that Mayo bath.
I also had NC State. I watched them win with what felt like 7 different quarterbacks this year. So I also have NC State winning.
But they're coming off a big high, beating North Carolina the way they did. This might be a letdown.
I want to call it that.
I mean, but they're also going to have like a month and a half to get over that win, though.
This game is being played December 30th. Next, we have Pittsburgh and UCLA in the Sun Bowl. We have already heard that Keaton Slovis is transferring from Pitt. No, Jody, Phil is not playing in this game. Jody, who wins between Pitt and UCLA?
UCLA.
Wow, I'm surprised he didn't pick Pitt just because they had Phil. Ian, who's winning this game?
UCLA.
Alex,
I got DTR UCLA.
James.
Fighting Chip Kelly's.
God, we are so boring. I also have UCLA.
Dude,
Fighting
okay,
Chip
honestly,
Kelly's.
Pitt has not looked good all year, and I blame them getting their heart broken in week 2.
But that was such a big win.
All right.
Hey,
so
that was
we have,
for us in context. That was okay.
in the Gator Bowl. We have the Undertaker facing Notre Dame. I am going to take the Undertaker in this match. I feel like the Undertaker has just slaughtered Orange everywhere the last 2 weeks. James, are you taking the Undertaker or are you taking Notre Dame?
Oh, you know where I'm going, playa.
Alex.
All right, so give me
He
a
didn't
second.
even have to
'cause
say it.
I'm gonna. All right, so my response might be a little bit long-winded, but Notre Dame will rest in peace. Undertaker.
Ian, who's winning this game?
Give me South Carolina by 20.
Jody,
As
who do you
much
have? Why is it the Undertaker?
as I want to say Notre Dame, their starting quarterback is in the portal. Michael Mayer.
Has it come out if he's playing or not?
I think he's going to declare for the draft. He has to.
Okay.
Best tight end in football.
Yeah.
I disagree. I disagree wholeheartedly.
Time out. Do you disagree because you think it's Dalton Kincaid?
Him, Keithy, or Brock Bowers are the best tight ends in football right now. Michael Mayers is a top 5, but he is not the best tight end in football.
I was just curious how homerism you were going to go.
He'll be the first
100%.
tight end.
The only reason Keithy's out is because he blew out his knee against Arizona State. Otherwise, Utah would have 2 top 5 tight ends in the entire country.
Jody, so because your elite quarterback Drew Pine is no longer there, you are going to
South Carolina.
go with the Undertaker? Wow.
Wow.
I am speechless.
Whoa.
I'm speechless right now. That's all right.
Excuse me.
Jody,
I gotta do this. I gotta do this.
back
I
up
gotta do
here.
this right here.
We're going to pick you back up here. You're in the Arizona Bowl. You have Ohio and Wyoming. And we have talked all year about the turnaround based on expectations that Craig Bowl has done at Wyoming. Didn't you say their preseason win total was 3?
3, and they're like the 3rd youngest team in.
And they went 7-5 this year. So who do you got, Wyoming or Ohio?
Ohio. Wyoming doesn't have a quarterback, and
Look, I'm trying to help you, okay?
their star running back hit the portal. I mean, he got dismissed from the team.
Curtis
And then he hit
Rourke
the
is
portal,
out. Curtis
so-
Rourke is out for Ohio. We just watched them only put up 7 points on Toledo. So, Alex Romero.
I'm going to go back to my Utah roots and go to the Mountain West Conference. Give me Wyoming.
Ian.
OHIO, you're going to lose. We know. Give me Wyoming.
Someone else watches.
I'm gonna steal that and copyright it. Mr. Lillquist.
You know what? I was going to do the OHIO, but thank you. Ian already stole my thunder there. Give me the other Pistol Pete and give me the Cowboys.
I also took Wyoming. Like I said, Ohio lost their starting quarterback. They only put up 7 points in the conference championship game. Give me Wyoming. And the next
Wyoming
game, go ahead.
They got skunked by Fresno 30-0 in their last game.
Well, motivation.
That's not the Ohio Bobcats, though. That's Fresno.
That's Fresno, who just won the Mountain West Conference.
And the I can't beat South Carolina Orange Bowl. We have Clemson and Tennessee. I am going to let everybody know now that, not surprising, I picked Tennessee because I have vocalized all year my lack of trust in Clemson. Ian.
Oh, God. No, make me go last. Make me go last.
No,
No,
I
sir.
No, I got something for this. I got something for this.
Nope. I'm going to agree with James here. James is a Tennessee fan. He gets to go
James
last.
gets to go last. We have a rule here. I'll
Man,
come back to you, Jody.
I'm going to go Clemson because they've made the quarterback switch.
Goodbye. How do I get you off my screen? Alex Romero.
I'm going to channel my inner Pat McAfee here, James. Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me.
First of all, is Pat McAfee not the best thing to
Good
happen?
old Rocky Top. Woo! Rocky Top,
Ian, what you got?
Tennessee. Give me the balls.
he stole my thunder. I was literally gonna do that.
I hate that for you.
Dang it!
James was probably going to do that too.
I have a question. You keep bringing up The Undertaker. Where is the real Death Valley?
California.
It's
LSU.
in California.
It's in California.
In college football, it's LSU.
Technically, it is.
Oh, football, it's LSU, 100%.
LSU in college football.
No, but the original one is Clemson.
It is. The
It
better
is.
one is in LSU.
The better one is in LSU.
Ian, I guess you had Tennessee because you were going to sing the.
Yep. Yeah, Tennessee, and it won't even be close. DJ's in the portal. I don't trust Clemson worth a lick.
James, in under about 5 minutes, please tell us why. You know,
The oranges of
Pick is and why it's
how the large orange will win the orangest Orange Bowl that ever oranged in orange.
I'm going to
The
be
only
very
thing
upset if both teams don't wear orange jerseys and orange helmets. Okay?
You know, the team in the orange jersey and the team in the orange and white helmet will win this game.
I feel like a team whose primary color is orange is going to win this game.
Okay,
However-
okay, hold on. Is it black or purple?
It's purple for them for Clemson.
I know. I was trying to see what you were going to say for it, but my bad.
No,
My bad.
no,
I cut you off.
No. So the reason why the Grande Naranjas are going to win this game is because not only do they have a passing attack that will still be throwing deep bombs down the field
Because Joe
against
Milton
that
has a cannon.
he does have a cannon. He might not be accurate as all get up, but he's got a howitzer.
He can
for an
throw the
arm.
ball 150 yards. I know the football
However-
field's only 100, but he likes to make sure he's got it covered.
He got it covered. He also will hit an athletic department on a hitch route.
Who has the
But-
better quarterback? For real.
Oh no, I'm going to actually probably say Cole Klubnik because I do not trust
I
Joe
would
Milton
also
worth the
say
heck of
Columbus
it.
because I feel like he's more accurate.
However, the reason why I think Tennessee's going to win is not because I don't like Shipley and I don't think Shipley's a great running back. Tennessee's running game did so much work against
Oh my
the
God.
team that
Are
struggled.
you really bragging about a Vanderbilt win?
I'm only bragging about it because the running game was so good.
I'm done with you, sir. I just want
The only argument I have against that, James, because I agree with you. You already heard me sing old Rocky Top, you know what I mean? So
Yes.
the only thing I have against that is that Clemson's defense is night and day different than Vanderbilt. That's all I'm going to say.
I get that. However,
But I have a rebuttal to that.
You can run on him.
How many of Clemson's defensive linemen are going to opt out of this game?
A,
That's a good point, too.
B,
2 for sure.
Tennessee ran on everybody except Georgia.
I can give you that.
Yeah,
That's,
I mean,
that's
and
true.
that's
I've watched
including
a lot
that,
of
All right,
that
you're 5
supposed
minutes
Supposed
we
playoff
were
team
on.
that
I would
is
like to move
Alabama.
on now.
Which team did better versus South Carolina?
Well, they both lost, so it doesn't
We
matter.
both took that L, so it don't matter. We both
Anyways,
smoked that L pack.
I'm going to talk shit about Kansas State, then let Karma punch me in the nose bowl. Alabama plays Kansas State in the Sugar Bowl. I don't think Bryce Young plays. I don't think Will Anderson plays. Ian, who do you have winning this game?
Kansas State by 10.
Jody,
I think I'm going to go Kansas State.
Alex Romero,
As much as it pains me to say this, I got to roll Tide.
okay, well,
Yeah.
you're our panel. Tennessee, man, why are you not picking Alabama?
Will Alabama win this game? No. Not only are they we will spell this out for you because of that whole thing that they tried to pull yesterday.
Oh, yeah, that was
SAWFT.
S-A-W-F-T. So
Oh,
Not only are they that, I do not trust their backup quarterback.
Dude,
I-
thank you. I'm glad you said that because I was going to ask you, who do you think has a better defense, A&M or Kansas State?
Oh,
K-State.
K-State.
And we saw how bad Jalen Milroe looked against. He could not throw the ball against A&M.
He did not. And here's the other thing. I've seen Alabama struggle with small running backs, a.k.a. like Jabari Small.
I have
when
seen
they played Tennessee. And Kansas State has the smallest of smallest,
Alex,
really good running backs.
Alex, I'm
exactly.
gonna like your Christmas tree really fast so you don't have to. We have seen Alabama get in this bowl specifically. Look uninterested against a Utah team. I would not be surprised if this was a similar scenario. Kansas State is coming off the high of winning the Big 12. So I am also going to pick Kansas State.
And also because we're also huge Klein fans on this show.
Absolutely.
Believe me, I would be I'm going to be ecstatic when K-State beats Alabama, but I don't think it happens.
Well, you're wrong. We rename this bowl sponsored by ZQL.
Or Valium or something.
Or Valium. Take your pick of your nighttime medicine. Iowa plays Kentucky in the Music City ZQL Bowl.
With the worst referees on human planet Earth.
Also, this game might be done in an hour and a half, and this one might be a race to 13. Okay.
Is Levis playing?
Huh?
Oh hell no!
Not.
He ain't playing this game.
Probably not. Who you got, Ian?
My pillow for 3. No, if I had to pick, no. I mean, Iowa's defense. Again, we can joke about their offense. Their defense is still absolutely up there. Kentucky, Will Levis, maybe he goes, maybe he doesn't.
He's already declared, so I think it's highly unlikely that he plays.
Well, in that case, that still doesn't change my mind. It's going to be Kentucky.
Jody,
I'm
which offense is going to win this game?
Kentucky, because they have an elite running back.
Who?
I don't know if I'd call Chris Rodriguez elite.
I don't think. I thought Rodriguez isn't playing. I think he's hurt. He's been out for the season.
Also didn't know that he was hurt.
I didn't know he was hurt either.
Give me the Wildcats.
I also am going to agree with Ian. We have two Kentuckys, an Iowa, and a pillow. I also am going to watch the pillow. Give me Iowa for the same reasons, Ian. We laugh about that offense, but that defense is ridiculous. Also, if there's a year for punter for Heisman, it's got to be Iowa's punter.
And Kentucky lost
it. Iowa.
Kentucky fired their OC, so
shocker! Didn't see that coming.
No.
Anyways, James.
Not only will it be a cold day in hell when I actually pull for the Kentucky Wildcats.
So surprised you did not pick Kentucky. I just want you to know that.
Also, I'll be watching this game for my brand new better mattress when I get it because I'll be passed out when that game happens.
Pillow for the win.
You'll be watching your.
Say that this is a new kickoff, so I guess we're all sleeping in that day. Okay.
Yep, pillow for the win. Let's go.
This is an afternoon nap, baby.
I am going to skip the college football playoffs. We will come back to those.
Oh.
James, where does Mike Leach rank in our favorite coaches?
He's a solid number 2 in my rank.
What I thought. Mississippi State plays Illinois in the ReLaQuest Bowl. I don't even know where the hell this game's being played. Tampa, Florida, in Raymond James Stadium. Ian, are you going with the Fighting Mike Leaches?
I am not. I'm going with the Fighting Chase Browns.
I think we're going to have to kick you off our show. Mr. Moncrief, who is winning this game?
Can I say a tie?
No.
You want?
I do not have ties in college football, sir.
Right.
I would have said it for the last game.
This is the group stage at the World Cup, okay? Jody, who you got? Pick a winner.
I guess Mike Leach, I guess.
Okay, Mr. Romero.
Give me Mike Leach by 1,000,000.
I also have the Fighting Mike Leaches. James, you're kicked out of the fan club if you don't have the Fighting Mike Leaches.
Well, no. I only have a simple request for Tampa Television. You get Mike Leach to do the weather report because that weather report it was the best thing possible.
If you have not seen that, please go watch that. All right. Tulane and USC in the Cotton Bowl. I was listening to the College Game Day podcast earlier, and I'm curious how many people go to Dallas just to boo Lincoln Riley. They're Oklahoma fans.
Oh, that's
Mr.
a high
Mountain West,
number.
who is playing this game?
Who is?
Mr. Mountain West. I don't know who said winning this game.
Tulane, because Caleb Williams is out.
Alex Romero.
I still got USC.
I don't think Caleb Williams is going to play. Ian, who you got?
Fight on USC, and it's close.
Y'all all
I think
suck.
it's close.
Y'all all suck.
Nope.
Mr. Lilliquist.
I said Tulane.
You know what? And Jody, that's a good pick there. Not only because
Good pick,
Willie
my
Fritz
friend.
is
Good
Willie,
pick.
not only is Willie Fritz staying there, and what does Tulane play with Willie Fritz? They play defense. And what is USC going to have trouble with? Defense. Because after that,
I will never
that
pick.
quick little thing,
I will never pick USC.
I will never take a Lincoln Riley.
It pained
Alex
me to
Gray.
say. It
I will
pained me
stab
to say
you.
USC. Believe me, I cannot stand USC.
I will never take a Lincoln Riley, Alex Grinch-led defense. James, we talked about this yesterday. Tajay Spears alone ran for 199 in the AEC championship game.
He gonna run for some more too. He better be ready.
Utah ran all over USC in the Pac-12 championship game.
Yes,
I
they did.
I refuse to take a Lincoln Riley and Alex Grinch-led defense. Give me the Tulane Green Wave to just shock the world. LSU plays Purdue in the Citrus Bowl, which might be, a shootout. Jody, who wins this game?
Who did you say again? Sorry, I was
LSU and Purdue.
Wow, Jody, pay attention.
I cannot cheer for Brian Kelly, so Purdue.
Except for what did he cheer for Brian Kelly in the SEC? Anyways, Ian.
If they get the Southern University band to come play neck, LSU all day.
Oh,
Romero.
Oh, they've got to do it. They've got to do it. Ian,
Romero.
good pick. I got LSU. They did put up some points on UGA. Not enough, obviously. Their defense was horrible, but like I said, man,
Georgia does that to
LSU.
people.
They do.
Ask James, who's winning this game?
Sir, I believe it is crank up the band, play that neck, and also only because I also believe that Purdue is going to be out of coach here soon when Brian Brom goes home.
Jeff
they
Brom.
will.
I gave you the wrong name. It was Jeff Brom.
No, Jeff Brom. Anyway, it's
Brian
Brom.
Brom
Anyway, is it football? Are they playing? Is XFL? Let's go play some football. He's not going to be playing. He's not going to be playing Purdue football. He's going to go back home to Louisville. Anyway, crank up the band, play neck. Nassmeyer's going to throw for 200 yards.
I would pick LSU, or I would pick Purdue, but Keon Butte announced he's coming back next year, which means he is going to play in the bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
The LSU. Mr. Mountain West, you have Utah and Penn State in the Rose Bowl. Are you taking 37th year quarterback Sean Clifford?
No.
Dude, we have had this discussion.
Ian, are you taking 37th year quarterback Sean Clifford?
I might.
But
I really might. I know this might hurt you, but your two losses are to two teams in the college football playoff. Every other game, you still look solid. I know Utah's coming off that high of beating SC. I don't know how healthy Cam Rising's going to be. I don't know what it is, but Penn State, overtime, number 3, they win by 2.
I hate the overtime rule.
I do too. Trust me, I do too.
I'm
But
going with 37th year quarterback Sean Clifford. I have seen him lose to quality teams too many times. I think I shared something this year that James Franklin's like 0-10 or maybe 0-12 now after this year against top 10 teams at Penn State.
Penn State's big win?
At Penn State, huh?
What's Penn State's big win?
Thank you. Thank you for proving my Bama point.
Auburn. I think James Franklin is now like 0-12 at Penn State against top 10 teams, and 1, Utah's in the top 10, and 2, Sean Clifford's been there for I think I figured I was like 8 or 9 of them.
Way too long.
Plus, we watched the fireworks that Utah put up in the Rose Bowl last year. Also, I want to know, are those sick helmets coming back? I got Utah. James, who you got?
Well, you know what? It would not be a very nice, warm household if I did not pick this team. Not only because I have to, because of my wife.
Damn it, James! Now you're gonna pick Penn State and ruin my whole point.
Exactly. No, I'm not going to pick Penn State. You're going to be on glue if I can believe I'm going to close those. That's the most overrated, freaking fluffed up team in this
Ian, are you ordering us food?
Huh?
Yeah, okay. Ian's ordering us food.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, just park in front of me.
Are you ordering us food?
No, yeah. Are you getting that cookout? No. What the heck, man?
Alex, who's winning this game?
All right, baby. All right. It's my turn. It is my turn. The homer of the century.
James, he might actually be worse than you. I just want you to know that.
I know. This is. I'm enjoying this in a very, very grotesque way.
So here we go. Here's what I got.
By the way, you don't get 10 minutes, okay? I just want you to know that.
Don't take 10 minutes. All I'm going to say is this. Utah is 10-3 on paper. Utah is 1 interception away from beating Florida in the swamp.
Terrible,
Utah
man.
is also a bad offensive game away from beating Oregon.
Limping Bo Nix. You let limping Bo Nix
beat. Exactly. Also, a bad offensive game from beating UCLA.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm calling
this is sounding awfully like Nick Saban trying to plead his case to the CFP.
Nobody in UCLA, or excuse me, nobody in the University of Utah even showed up to play in Pasadena the first time.
James,
last year,
nobody showed up to Knoxville to play South Carolina.
Last year,
there was Columbia, sir.
That's a Kyle Whittingham problem.
Utah had a playoff caliber team to play against in the Rose Bowl with Ohio State. Utah put up 40-something points against Ohio State. I think it was 48-45. Utah went off offensively, but they let Smith Najigba and CJ Stroud throw all over them in a depleted secondary. If I may, I'm going to pull up Penn State's schedule here.
Don't do it.
Do
it's
in
a crime
week
scene.
1.
I would not recommend it. It's not pretty.
The top amount of passing yards from Sean Clifford is 371 in a loss to Ohio State. The lowest amount of passing yards for Sean Clifford is 120 yards in a loss to Michigan. The rest of the schedule has had nothing but lower level teams, I guess I'll say, from Rutgers. Indiana's nowhere where they used to be. Maryland's a 500 team right now. The only win that they got in big fashion is at Auburn, and Clifford only threw for 178 yards. Can we not
pretend like Auburn is a good team right now?
I'm not saying they are, but that's their only marquee, quote unquote, marquee win of the season. Obviously, you know where I'm going with this.
If you're arguing your best win is Auburn, I am done with this conversation.
Wasn't the freshman in the mix to start over Clifford at one point?
You would know. You were Sean Clifford backer until never mind. Anyways, continue.
Anyway, to finish my point, Utah ran the ball and threw the ball all over a potential playoff team in USC. Not once, but twice. Give me the Utes to redeem themselves in Pasadena on the second. Go Utes.
I told you not 10 minutes, okay? And you went like 7, and I almost needed to stab you.
We almost need to get the music out there to wrap it up, dog.
Right.
We played that same D, and their D is not elite.
You lost to USC.
We did. But Drew Pine put over 300. And
No,
he's not
you
passing
can't
it?
sell your
In-
stock.
hold
Whoa,
on,
you
hold
can't
on.
be pumping up
To
Drew
that
Pine
note-
now. You just dogged
that
him this
note,
entire
baby.
show, sir.
Hold on.
Anyways,
Jody,
I am
Jody,
not
Jody.
having this conversation. TCU is playing Michigan in the
2 games
Fiesta Bowl.
against USC. My last point here, Caleb. In 2 games against USC, all-purpose yards, there was over 800 yards total that Cam Rising put up against USC in 2 games by himself, both passing and running the ball. So go ahead, Caleb.
Alex,
I
I
will
love
give
you,
you-
but it's already.
I will
past
give
my
you the
bedtime,
USC.
and you're only making it worse. Okay,
USC could not cover your guys' tight end.
Jody, it is already past my bedtime, and you're making it worse. TCU plays Michigan in the Fiesta Bowl. Alex, who's winning this game?
I think y'all are going to be real shocked at this pick, but I'm going to go the underdog. I'm going to go TCU.
Mr. Moncrief, why is it going to be your man crush, Michigan Wolverines?
Better defense, better quarterback.
Oh,
Whoa.
I'll put that out there.
Don't just
I
speed
don't
over
know,
that like
man.
you just say what you just said.
Better quarterback.
Whoa.
And the top
Completely dismissing Duggan, though?
by far the better head coach, Jim Harbaugh.
I don't disagree with that, but what?
Michigan.
I saw
Michigan by 2
Thunder's
touchdowns.
going to New York this weekend.
The Fighting Sonny Dykes.
Anyway, so my choice here, it's actually, I think it's going to be a really close game here, with the offense that TCU plays versus, I think JJ McCluskey's a really good quarterback. I feel like everything is, or McCarthy, excuse me, not McCluskey, McCarthy. He's actually shown up this year. He's actually been playing really, really well. And everything like that. However, all hail the Hypnotoad. Let's go, Horned Frogs, in the upset.
Jody, you have dogged Stetson Bennett all year for his touchdown passes. JJ McCarthy has 20 of them.
But he didn't start the whole year.
Yes, okay. So we didn't start one game.
It's true.
He played in all 12. I also have TCU. I think TCU has a better offense than Ohio State. And we have seen TCU win in ways that if you thought they were going to beat Texas 17-7, you're lying. And I think they are in wounded animal mode after losing to Kansas State in the Big 12 championship game. I'm actually surprised that everybody but Jody, I figured I would be the only one to pick TCU, but I also picked TCU.
That's when you think you've figured out all the answers.
I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's a 3-point game max.
All right. In the other game, might as well be a home game. Ohio State plays Georgia.
Will Georgia ever leave the state? Impossible challenge.
The answer is hell no.
They went to Florida to play
You went
Florida.
to Jacksonville.
Okay, that's still Florida.
It's across the bridge.
Didn't they go to Vanderbilt?
You're really going to try to justify going to Nashville?
You tried to justify running the ball against.
Hey, it wasn't just run the ball. We ran the ball really well and put up 56 points.
We shut them out 56-0 also. We played.
Okay, you want to really pick up Missouri again here, sir?
Hold on. We literally left the state 3 times.
Whole 3 whole times.
3 times. We went. Oh, I lied. 4 times. 5 times. We went at South Carolina, at Missouri, at Mississippi State, at Kentucky, and then to Jacksonville to play Florida. So we took bus rides.
3-hour drive, impossible challenge.
Okay. Anyways, Jody, I know you're loving all this Georgia Bulldog talk that you've hated on all year. Go ahead and tell me why Ohio State's going to win this game since you've hated on Georgia all year.
I can't do that. Georgia's the best team in college football, and I only
have, in case anybody's wondering, I only have a small wish that would only make them about this much better.
Georgia by 21.
Alex, the line here is only 6.5 right now, by the way. Alex.
I think this is going to be a better game than people think. The offenses are going to be high flying. I think they do cover, but give me the dogs.
Ooh, it's Mr. Lilliquist.
So, when watching that Ohio State-Michigan game, what did Michigan do very well against Ohio State?
Run the ball.
Also, what else did they do?
Anything
They controlled the line of scrimmage extremely well. What does Georgia do that's the best in college football?
They have a grown-sized man playing defensive tackle.
They have grown-sized men who are playing both sides of the football there, sir.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they dominate the line of scrimmage in both ways. Not only do you guys have a freaking NBA center at tight end, but you guys have offensive weapons. You know what? And I'm sorry to say this. This is not going to be a close game. This is going to be a blood splattering. This is going to be a Sarah McLachlan special. It might be over by halftime. Stetson Bennett might just take a break after a while there. Give me the Bulldogs. Unfortunately, that means I got to see them in a national championship.
They're one of the best teams that I've ever seen when it comes to tackling.
I was worried about this game initially. Jackson Smith and Jigba came out today and said he's not playing in the bowl game.
Okay.
Which I don't know how much it surprised me because he'd been battling to stay healthy all year.
Yes, he hadn't played a lot this year. So
and James, you know this. Kaylee Ringo didn't play the same kind of game against LSU they did against Tennessee.
Yes, I know. Thanks.
And Jody tried to get it. Well, you gave up. James, I went on here last night and talked about how LSU outgained Georgia by 20 yards, and it was a terrible defensive performance. And if you watch the game, they're probably in cover 3 the whole second half. Don't let them score.
And how much did you beat them by still?
20 points.
The only other team that beat them that bad was the other team in the SEC East that you guys handled by 14 points.
And the score wasn't even as close, and the game wasn't even as close to score.
Oh God, no! It was you guys dominated the offensive line.
I am unfortunately, in the surprise to no one, gonna go with the Georgia Bulldogs.
Oh God!
Here's prop number 1 for Mr. Alex Romero.
Oh God!
So
you had to pull something out. I pulled my Rose Bowl gear out for the Utah stuff. So
I don't expect this to be close after about the third quarter. Like James talked about, we watched Michigan bully Ohio State. And how many big games outside of beating the Clemson one year does it feel like Ryan Day's got outcoached in all these games?
Is Ryan Day an overrated coach?
I am starting to look that way.
Yes.
All right. I'm actually going to give my prediction for the other game as well. I apologize, Caleb. I got to hop off here. But I've got the Georgia TCU national championship. I'm going to give my prediction for that one real quick, if I may. I got UGA back-to-back, like the University of Utah back-to-back Pac-12 champions.
Mr. Moncrief. Hey, Alex, thanks for joining us.
Thanks,
Alex.
Alex.
I'll be able to get you on this year.
Yeah.
Thanks for about 2 hours with us.
Yeah, no worries, man. No worries. Anything I can do to try and help out, I definitely will. So.
Well, you mean talk about Utah?
Well, that too. Anywhere I can plug them in, I'll definitely do it.
Have a good night, boss.
All right, have a good one, guys.
Have a good one.
All right, Jody, in your hypothetical Michigan-Georgia scenario, who you got?
Georgia. They're just till I see Jim Harbaugh win the big one, I'm gonna go with the proven winner.
Mr. James Lilliquist. Is your favorite team going to win back-to-back national championships?
Yeah, the team that we fight the most for recruits. The team that we play still in the same division. Still until further notice.
For a couple of years.
For at least a couple of yeah. We play them every year.
Next year's in Knoxville, though.
Yeah. Let's see how it happened last time that happened. Anyway.
Does that make you feel any better?
No, absolutely not.
If it makes you feel better, James, I have one bad memory of a Georgia game in Knoxville.
That was a great time, though.
That's about the only bad memory I have of Georgia and Knoxville.
Yeah. Well, there was also that one overtime game that was really close, but
yeah, but I think I was a little too young to watch that.
yeah. Well, I was.
But anyways, continue.
Anyway, continue. So, in the worst nightmare scenario ever was the Bama Georgia game inside the Georgia Dome. That was the worst case scenario on the face of the earth for me. But this is a close second because we're gonna watch Georgia hoist once again another national championship, and then they're gonna take that on the recruiting trail and have to do that again, and then also do that in the transfer portal. So, my worst nightmare is going to be Georgia winning 2 in a row, and it's gonna be a terrible situation. I'm gonna straight up not have a good time.
I think this is a very unique scenario because, especially on the defensive side, the guys that won national championships are not there anymore.
No, they're all in the NFL.
So these guys that are playing playing in the playoffs to go to the national championship, they didn't have much to do with winning last year. So their hunger is still there.
But you still have Stetson Bennett. I mean,
well, yeah, I wish he had a 36 year of eligibility.
As much as I dog Stetson Bennett, he is the right quarterback for that team, and people are gonna really miss him after he's gone.
What?
And
I know
that JT Daniels back. God.
I know that Baker Mayfield won the Heisman as a walk-on, but how much of Stetson Bennett's story is going to be remembered? He enrolled in Georgia, went to a junior college, came back, and look at what he's done now. And somehow he's a Heisman finalist, and I'm happy for him, but I hate that Hooker's not on the ballot.
And I don't blame him for that. I truly, honestly do not blame Stetson Bennett for that. Stetson Bennett had a fantastic year.
He did, and he played well. We have seen Georgia get up for now, 4 games?
Yep.
Oregon, James's team, and the LSU game. And, well, they didn't play well against Kentucky, but they played well enough to win. And I think that I don't – when this team is locked in, it's scary.
It's terrifying.
Well, Georgia's offense is boring. Well, wasn't Alabama's, but they won damn games.
Yep. Any offensive scheme looks great when you have a bunch of 5 and 4 stars running around.
Oh, by the way, anything works when you're giving up, 12 points a game?
God bless it.
But if you're putting 50 up, how can you say your offense is boring? Who says that?
A lot of people don't like the way Georgia – because Georgia – that was probably the first – and I don't even know if 20 points is a blowout. But if you look at Georgia's schedule
they only scored like 25 a game.
Right. I mean, let's see. They had 49 – the first couple games, 49, 33, 48, 38. And you had 26 against Missouri. I know. I hear it all the time. 27.
Dang right, and you're going to continue doing, sir.
Right.
But it's like Stetson Bennett turned a light switch on and he started
But it's not
really
just
bowling
Stetson
out.
Bennett. It's the whole team.
Yeah, it was literally they knew they could beat a team by just being them.
We have seen Alabama lose these kind of games because they're uninterested. And it happens. Like, that's a legit thing.
But if you take Stetson Bennett's first half of the season, he's not a Heisman finalist.
Oh, God, no.
But he didn't
Look
have
what he's done. I know, but look what he's done. That's
quarterback. Didn't Geno Smith win the Heisman in September that year?
Yeah.
And then never made it to
Lamar
the
Jackson. Yeah.
And then never made it to the podium. Like, you don't win the Heisman. You can lose the Heisman in September, but you don't win it in September. And Stetson Bennett's not my Heisman favorite.
And you don't win it in October either, even if your October is the most nuts thing humanly possible.
I still think Hendon Hooker should have won the Heisman, and I think Caleb Williams will win the Heisman.
My issue with the whole thing is that C.J. Stroud's there, and I believe that like last year, C.J. Stroud deserved to be at the podium. I don't believe he is this year.
I think Michigan's running back should be there.
But here's the thing. I like his stats, but I'm glad that if they didn't put Hooker on him, if they didn't put Hooker on there, they didn't put Corum on there. Because Corum's hurt also.
If Hooker's not hurt, is he on this list?
Who?
Should
Hooker.
be.
He wins the Heisman if he doesn't tear his ACL.
Because he was gonna put up video game numbers against Vanderbilt.
Because you had Vanderbilt left.
He was going to call his shot. He was going to call his number, pretty much.
Like
Like
they were going to put all. They were going to get Hendon Hooker as
their
much
first
stats as
play
they
from
could.
scrimmage was a bomb that the cornerbacks knew was coming and they couldn't stop it.
So, my interesting thought is on that Georgia-Ohio State game as we watched Georgia play man defense, physical man defense against Tennessee all game, and I'm curious to see if they come out with that same kind of game plan against Ohio State.
I mean, outside of Harrison Jr., who's their best? Who's their number 2?
They have a couple of Igba, I think is his name.
Good. They have some good wide receivers.
I didn't say great. I said they were okay.
Yeah.
You know, so
Is this a game Marvin Harrison Jr. can go off?
He's gonna have to.
he's their offense.
He's gonna have to.
They still might be down to RB3.
They're gonna have to be. That's the only way they can have. They even have a shot to win.
They're not gonna be able to run the
Harrison just
They are
completely
not going
pops
to be able
off.
to run the ball.
They're gonna need a CJ Stroud cooking session that would make Russell Wilson blush. Sorry, had to do it.
All right, well, it's my bedtime.
Yeah, it's my bedtime too. It's late
Because
here.
5:30 is early. But thanks, Jody, for being with us. Thanks, Alex, for being with us. Thanks, Ian, who was almost dying, for being with us. James, thanks for putting up with me twice within about 26 hours.
If only there was like no news going on, we had
Right,
absolutely
if
nothing
only
to
we
talk
had
about.
nothing to talk about. Bowl games start in 11 days. And it's the most wonderful time of the year.
And then we have National Signing Day in the middle of it.
Man, too
And
bad.
then we have transfer portal window, and then we have the Senior Bowls and draft prep.
Too bad
Quick question for you. I'm reading this report. CU currently doesn't have enough money to pay Prime's contract.
I saw that, and I don't want to get into that right now. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that here in just a minute.
Well, we're gonna talk about that offline because that's gonna get that's a whole item for a whole other show.
That's gonna get ugly. Well, thank you guys for joining us for this week's episode of No Huddle. These are our bowl picks. I'll be holding everybody to these standards. I have documents to where if you changed it, that makes you a liar and you lose. Have a great week. We'll see you guys.